Ellie the Brave Elephant and the Quest for Friendship. Indiana, the heart of a magical jungle, filled with towering trees and vibrant flowers, lived a very special group of animals known as the elephants. The elephants were no ordinary elephants. They had enormous, gentle hands instead of trunks. These unique hands made them perfect for helping others, whether it was lifting heavy objects, offering comforting hugs, or reaching things no one else could. Among them was a young elephant named Ellie, and she was known for her big heart, bright eyes, and endless curiosity. Ellie loved her home and her elephant family, but sometimes she felt different from the other jungle animals. While the elephants were well-loved, Ellie noticed that not all the animals understood them. Some thought their big hands were odd, and Ellie sometimes felt a little left out. She wanted to show everyone that being different could be wonderful. One bright morning, as the sunlight streamed through the leaves, Ellie woke up with a big idea. "Today," she said, clapping her large hands together with excitement, "I'm going on a quest to make new friends and show everyone that being an elephant is something special." Ellie waved goodbye to her elephant family and set off into the jungle, her big hands swinging by her side. The jungle was alive with color. The trees were lush and green. The flowers bloomed in every shade of the rainbow, and the birds chirped cheerful songs as Ellie trotted through the forest. She smiled to herself, feeling the warm breeze on her face, ready for whatever adventures the day would bring. As Ellie wandered deeper into the jungle, she came across her first challenge. Ahead of her was a group of animals crowded around Rafi the Giraffe, who was stretching his long neck to nibble leaves from a very tall tree. The animals looked worried, and Ellie could hear them talking. "What's wrong?" Ellie asked as she approached them, her big hands ready to help. One of the monkeys turned to her. "Rafie has been trying to reach those special leaves at the top of the tree, but even with his long neck, he can't reach them. They're too high." Ellie looked up at the tree. The leaves at the very top were indeed out of reach, even for a tall giraffe like Rafie. She smiled. "I can help with that," she said confidently. Ellie lifted her big, gentle hands and reached for the branches. With ease, she plucked the leaves from the top of the tree and handed them to Rafie. "Thank you, Ellie," Rafie said, munching on the leaves. "I've been trying to get those for ages." "Your hands are amazing," Ellie beamed. "I'm happy to help, Rafie," she said, waving goodbye to her new friend as she continued on her way. As Ellie walked, she couldn't help but feel proud. She had only just started her adventure, and she had already made a new friend. But she knew her quest wasn't over yet. There were more animals in the jungle who might need her help. Soon, Ellie reached the wide, sparkling River of Echoes, named because when animals called out near it, their voices would bounce back as if the river were talking to them. But this time, Ellie didn't hear any cheerful echoes. Instead, she heard a cry for help. Ellie followed the sound to the riverbank, where she found Tippy the Tiger pacing back and forth, looking upset. "Tippy, what's wrong?" Ellie asked, her big hands clasped together with concern. "My favorite toy ball rolled into the river, and I can't swim to get it," Tippy explained, his orange and black stripes gleaming in the sunlight. Ellie's eyes twinkled with excitement. "Don't worry, Tippy. I'll get it for you." Without hesitation, Ellie reached her big hands into the river. The cool water swirled around her fingers as she carefully searched for Tippy's ball. After a moment, she felt it and pulled it out, dripping wet but safe. "Here you go," Ellie said, shaking off the water before handing the ball back to Tippy. Tippy's face lit up with joy. "Thank you, Ellie. You're the best. I didn't know how I was ever going to get it back." Ellie giggled. "I'm just happy I could help, Tippy." Tippy playfully nudged Ellie with his nose. "You've got the best hands in the whole jungle," he said with a grin. With that, Ellie waved goodbye and continued on her quest, her heart feeling lighter and happier with every step. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, Ellie's next stop was the Whispering Woods, where the trees were so tall they seemed to touch the clouds. Ellie had heard many stories about this part of the jungle, where animals came to rest and listen to the gentle rustling of the leaves. But today, something seemed different. Ellie could hear the faint sound of crying. Following the sound, Ellie soon found Pip the Parrot sitting high up in a tree, looking down with wide, frightened eyes. "What's wrong, Pip?" Ellie called from below. I I flew too high, and now I'm scared to come down." Pip squawked, his feathers ruffled in fear. Ellie thought for a moment, then smiled. "Don't worry, Pip. I'll help you get down safely." Ellie carefully reached her big hands up toward the tree. "Hop on," she said gently. Pip fluttered nervously for a moment before landing on Ellie's soft hands. With slow and careful movements, Ellie lowered Pip back to the ground. "Thank you, Ellie," Pip chirped, flapping his wings with relief. "I don't know what I would have done without you." Ellie smiled. "That's what friends are for, Pip. We help each other when we're scared." By the time Ellie returned to the heart of the jungle, the sun was beginning to set, painting the sky with shades of pink, orange, and gold. She had made so many new friends that day: Rafi the Giraffe, Tippy the Tiger, and Pip the Parrot, and she felt proud of the way she had used her big hands to help them. As she walked back to her elephant family, Ellie realized something very important. Being different wasn't just okay, it was wonderful. Her big hands, which she had once thought made her stand out too much, were her greatest gift. They allowed her to help others, to be a friend, and to make the jungle a better place. When Ellie arrived home, her family greeted her with open arms. "How was your quest, Ellie?" they asked. Ellie smiled, her heart full of love and joy. "It was amazing," she said. "I made new friends, helped those in need, and learned that being an elephant is the best thing in the world." And from that day on, Ellie the brave elephant continued to use her big hands for good, spreading kindness and friendship throughout the jungle. Because in the end, it wasn't the size of her hands that mattered, it was the size of her heart.